class speaker, elected by vote of the class, is Henry Gammill.
Members of the faculty, parents, distinguished guests, seniors and senioritas. Webster's Dictionary defines Webster's Dictionary as a literary source that people run to when they cannot come up with a beginning to a speech or other oral address. Well, I'm pleased to tell you that I won't be doing that tonight because I'm not that desperate. By the way, Webster's Dictionary defines desperate as being rash or violent because of despair. Standing behind me is a group of the brightest, most talented individuals I've ever had the pleasure of working with. I want to say something beautiful and inspiring and uplifting to my peers. I want to let them know how much they mean to me and how wonderful my time at prep has been, but come on. How beautiful and inspiring can I be to a bunch of people staring at the back of my head? According to my mother, though, it is a very nice back of the head, so... Besides, I'm the class speaker, not the valedictorian. I make a funny and then I sit down. That's the way this works, but nonetheless, I feel the need to tastefully show my gratitude. Some thanks are in order. I'd like to thank my classmates for giving me the best 6 years of my life. I'd like to... All right, take them when they come, all right. I'd like to thank my teachers, my mentors, my parents who sometimes nag, but as I'm now finding out, it really was for my own good. And I'd like to thank everyone who's come before me to shape this beautiful world that you've all handed down to my generation. Thank you for gas at $4.50 a gallon, for global warming, for our country's $9 trillion debt, for the crippling recession we now slowly slide into. Thank you. We really, really appreciate it. I suggest you all drive home before gas hits $5.13 a gallon. After a significant period of time spent thinking to myself, and by significant period of time, I mean a lunch out with my dad, I ultimately decided that maybe it's not so bad I'm at a loss of words. In the face of such abrupt and radical transition, this graduation, why should I be expected to be anything but scared out of my mind? These are the things I thought to myself as I watched a gob of what appeared to be mustard cling to the corner of my father's lip. In a way, aren't we all a little bit like that smear of a condiment, desperately clinging on to whatever's familiar until some external force wipes us away? I know, my father didn't really like that metaphor either, so... Each student on this stage is transitioning from the easy, comfortable lifestyle of being a second semester senior to the daunting, unpredictable world of college life. It's that transition that terrifies me the most. Despite all the time I've spent reading about schools and touring campuses, I don't know what life will be like next year. No matter how many times I watch Animal House, I'm never going to feel fully prepared for the years ahead. I must say, though, that if necessary, I will be able to throw an outstanding toga party. Thanks to Mr. Baker's class, I'll take drink orders in Latin. Yeah, that's right. I do know that I have 4 incredible years to look forward to, but there's always going to be that part of me that never wants to leave. Next year, I'm headed to NYU, where the mascot is the bobcat, but they still get called the violets, which is among the most macho of flowers. It's where the actual campus is about as noticeable as the NYU football team, which, in case you're unaware, doesn't really exist. There are, however, a number of lovely cheese stops in the area. If you're in New York, I suggest you stop by for a nice slice of cheddar. All right, moving on. It's the place I'd always hoped up. Excuse me. You know, I've never worn a gown before. It's the always hoped I'd end up, and I know I'm going to love it there as soon as it becomes familiar. I know that all my classmates are going to someplace they'll love. And here's the thing that's surreal to me. I understand that I've been a student at prep for my formative years, but still, it feels like only an instant has passed since I was a chubby 7th grader with a squeaky voice, a They Might Be Giants t-shirt for every day of the week, and an essay on Emily Dickinson to color. I do remember all the jokes my 9th grade world history class made with Mr. Fry, like it was only yesterday when each time the teacher turned to face the whiteboard, we'd inch our desks closer until we practically touched his knees. It was also in 9th grade when I played JV football, where I learned to stand quietly on the sidelines and let the people who know what they're doing take care of the work. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. It feels like as soon as our class received our precious senior patio and lawn, we had to make way for the class of 2009. We've come a long way together. We've done a lot of work. We're a class of extremely smart, capable, problem-solving people of different tastes, political opinions, and interests. I personally can't wait to bore my grandchildren with the memories I have of this school. I can't wait to tell them that we were friends with our classmates. Even if we didn't talk to everyone every day, we respected one another. The world we experienced at prep was a good introduction to the world outside. We're expected to work hard, to come up with ideas, and to be part of the solution, not the problem. This year marks the 75th anniversary of the establishment of this school. What do we know about being 75? Well, if prep is anything like my 75-year-old grandmother, it loves television programs like Murder, She Wrote and Columbo. And it seems to be very interested in talking about the weather. All the time. Here at prep, we talk about the weather too, but other things fascinate us as well. That's really all this school has in common with my grandmother, unless of course it starts sending me a check for $5 every year on my birthday. Does the school send me a check, or do I send them? Why would I send them money? I'll ask my parents later, excuse me. Despite the remodeling that we've seen in recent years, it's still the same school we fell in love with the first time we stepped onto the campus. How could we be unhappy with the construction anyway? I mean, look at this place. It's beautiful. All these seats and the lights, and who'd have thought they could have turned the Norris Auditorium? I mean, all these people, and it's beautiful. The tile work, everything. Well worth the wait. I cannot be more proud or more honored to be in this 75th graduating class. I can only dream of what we'll go on to invent, improve, develop, and establish. It's been a challenging and rewarding journey with my classmates. Finally, I believe it was Peter Bachman who once said that, Ralph Waldo Emerson once said that, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. I know my peers have the tenacity and the wisdom to excel anywhere they may find themselves. Thank you.
Good luck with the cheese shops.